What we're talking about is the experience through the Bridges program of the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius Loyola. It's a school of prayer where the participant spends a period of time every day in prayer and then meets weekly with a prayer companion to help guide them. And the background to this, the guide that the prayer companion will use is a series of meditations developed by St. Ignatius Loyola, who at the time he developed it was a layman, but later on was ordained and then founded the Jesuit order. And the way it works, it begins with our awareness that we are beloved by and created by God for a purpose, which is to be with God for all eternity. And then we have choices in life that will help us or get in the way of making good choices that will get us towards accomplishing our goal. And so the way we do that in the exercise, after we reflect on that concept that we are made for God and that the choices that either help or hinder that, we spend time, first of all, it's 4 steps, but the first step is reflecting on the poor choices that others and we have made and some of the consequences of those. And then as we reflect on that, we realize that God still loves us. So we're beloved sinners, and we always, as we're reflecting on this, stay in touch with Christ on the cross. Then after we've reflected on and internalized that and owned our own sinfulness and our own belovedness by God, then we spend time with Christ and we walk with Him through His life in the Scriptures. And we spend time every day reflecting on a situation or an event in the life of Christ. We walk with Him, we listen to Him, we even try in our imaginations to converse with Him, to try to get a contact, to get to know Him, and then to love Him, and then to follow Him. It actually was turned into a song in the movie Godspell, to see Him more clearly, love Him more dearly, and follow Him more nearly. And so we develop over a period of time a friendship with Christ. Then once we have done that, we realize that at the end of His earthly life, our friend suffered and died for us. And so we go through that experience with Him, always in our imaginations, but in also, it's prayer in our imaginations. We learn a way to do this. So we walk with our friend through His passion and death on the cross. And then after that, we rejoice with our friend as he rises from the dead. And then after we've gone through this period of prayer, and in the Bridges it takes 8 or 9 months to complete this whole process, then we are sent forth. And the final meditation is one where we reflect on how much God is a part of our lives, giving us gifts and then actually present to us in the gifts, and even working for us in the gifts that God gives us to empower us then to be who God creates and calls us to be. And so that's the flow of the exercises, which have been around for 450 years and have affected a lot of lives, not just clergy like myself, but more frequently and more broadly, anyone who is a follower of Christ. And there have even been a few folks who have not followed Christ who have still found wisdom in the experience. But mainly it's for us as Christians. It's a gift of Catholic Christians and of the Jesuits, but basically it's a chance for any of us to walk with Jesus, to get to know Him and know ourselves in the process. And then as we walk with Him, then that empowers us to be the best of who we can be.